My fabulous chemistry students, very first video of the very first unit. I apologize ahead of time if I'm rusty, but we are going to, the learning targets normally for the video would show up here, but the first video is basically what are we going to learn and how are we going to learn it? What are these big ideas? What are the learning targets? Okay, the learning targets will become more specific on the second video and the third video. Okay, so how do we do chemistry in this flipped/blended classroom at World of Inquiry? You will learn how to complete a full unit of study. Okay, when you're done with this, you will have done a full unit, and then we'll talk about what is in a unit. What you're doing right now is writing down the pieces that show up here in red, and hopefully you have enough room. You see that with the bullets, there's 5 of them. You need a little bit more space in between the fourth and the fifth one. Helps you plan out the space there that you have in those lines to write this stuff down. Okay, how do you complete your lecture videos for a unit? You are doing that now. As these pieces fly in, you are writing them down. And I'm going to talk about them, and probably not going to read them word for word. I'm going to talk to you about them, and you need to hear the words that I'm saying, so please no bumping. And you might have to press pause because I might talk faster than you had the time to write those down. So you'll see how that goes, okay? How do you finish and check your practice pages? Just so we're very clear, these videos are not meant for you to actually do in class. The flow of class is you do these videos for homework instead of what you would do in math class per se. So let me just give you the math thing and then you'll see that difference. Ready? So in math class, you're going to learn how to graph a straight line and what the equation of a straight line is, and you spend all class in that during that session, taking your notes, doing some practice problems, and then your math teacher gives you this homework assignment of 20 to 30 problems for you to practice what you learned today in class. Okay, I'm going to flip that, and it's going to happen opposite. So you're actually going to go home and take your notes and get the notes out of the way ahead of time at home. That way, when you come into class, you can do these practice pages, the Pogles, and all the other classwork stuff that we can do, and then you have me around to do those actual tasks, which is what you actually really need me around to do. You don't need me to do the notes because now you can take me home to do those. Okay, so if you start struggling with the way the course works and the flow, I am going to ask you to kind of go back to that model more. Do more videos at home and have more time in class to do other stuff. That's when the class really flows best for students, because that's how it's designed. Okay, you're going to learn what on earth a POGIL is. We'll have to do 1 or 2 in this first unit, and you will have to do a chemistry lab with this CEI conclusion. It stands for Claim Evidence Interpretation. I have them on the end of every one of the labs. They are the most important part. It's kind of like the lab write-up part, if you will. Rather than you just taking all the data, it's where you're going to synthesize and talk about, what your claim, what your answer is, why, how'd you get to there, and then interpretation, how you go a little bit further, okay? It is the most important part. If I didn't say it already, I will not pass your lab if you haven't done the CEI. That's the piece I need done the most. I value the most, okay? One last one here. How do we utilize Castle Learning? You're going to get a prep. You're going to get a quiz. The quiz is going to close. I'm going to let you know when that quiz deadline is. You have to have it done by then, or you are not going to get credit. 80 or better, or it's a 0. You got to keep doing it and keep doing it. And I'm not going to do a lot of reminding you about this stuff by Unit 3. Okay, as we go through and we're learning how to do it, I'm going to be a little bit more hands-on and helping you and nudging you along a little bit, but I'm going to pull back, okay, at some point. All right, so here we go. Learning targets for this unit. You're going to see the symbol a lot in the notes at the beginning of all the notes. It's learning targets, right? And there's 11 of these for this unit, so if you can save some room, save some room. I'll have 11 bullets. It's going to take me 2 slides. Okay, first, whoa, that was way too fast. Note, see, your clicker's all messed up. You'll have to apologize. I'm going backwards. I'm not redoing this video. It was like my 30th try because it's been a minute. So sorry the clicker gets a little funny, but that's how I'm making it move without having to come up and tap the keyboard and then you hear it, right? So I can define the specialized vocabulary of boot camp. That is always going to be the first one because what is up? I really apologize. Second one, I can describe safe and unsafe laboratory behaviors. That is video 2 or 3. Interpret the correct units of measure. We're getting into video 4. By now, you're going to be pretty good at logging in and writing these things down and how you do it. Okay. I am getting tired of the clicker screwing up. It is locked into go mode, so now I move. I make an adjustment for this video. I really apologize. So unit of measure. Then we're going to measurement tools, graduated cylinders and valances. We're going to learn how to use those. I can determine percent error. This is a piece where this equation is in your reference table, and you're going to have to be able to use it and manipulate it pretty much for the rest of the year. So we'll learn how to use that and do some math. Then we're going to classify types of matter as elements, compounds, and mixtures, and draw particle diagrams. So they're going to get into a little bit of chemistry here, but we'll use it in terms of 8th grade science that we learned before. Distinguishing between physical and chemical properties and changes in matter, physical and chemical reactions. Okay, that's big. There'll always be some question on the Regents exam about that. Okay, and simple techniques to separate matter. I have salt, I have water, and I have sand all mixed up. Or I have, better yet, I have sand and salt in a beaker. How do I separate the sand and the salt? We'll get into how we can do that. Okay. Calculate the volume and density of various objects. This will be lab. And then we will have to infer whether it will be able to float or not based on the density of water and comparing the two. Okay. Identify the most common elements by name and symbol. That is kind of like building fluency into periodic table and prepping us for atoms. So it's prepping us for the first 2 units, trying to get some fluency with names and symbols of atoms. And then identify the most common polyatomic ions. This is table E in our reference table. I want to just start right off the bat with some of the chemistry stuff within this unit where it's not application of chemistry. It's a little bit more memorization, so I don't think it's like super beyond the realm. It's literally, dude, element 8 is symbol O is oxygen, that kind of stuff. And it's very, you have a tool, so you don't have to memorize it. You have to learn how to use the tool, but some of them you need, it helps if you have some fluency and you know that O is oxygen and C is carbon and N is nitrogen, because they're going to come up a lot. And if you can become fluent with certain atoms, it's going to make life a lot easier for the rest of the year. And with that, I think we are almost done, but here's the assignments. So here's a list of all the assignments. This is on the front page of your packet. I want you to use this and check them off when they're complete so that you are responsible for your learning. They are broken down. Homework 1, homework 2, vocab quiz, okay? Homework 3, practice pages following homework 3. Homework 4, practice pages following homework 4. This is done in what we call a linear style. So if you're having trouble with deciding what to do next when the time comes, when you're given that opportunity, you can follow this sequence, and this sequence will get you right through perfectly linear. Okay, and with that, we're done. So, all right, this video is done. Thank God. Sorry this one took so long. It is the first video of the first unit. The first video of the second unit will probably be much faster by then. All right.